Hi, my name is Thomas. Today I will be defending the Euthynchus viridis, better known as the predatory stink bug.
Hello, my name is Kennedy. Today, I will be defending the Aureus insidiosus, or commonly known as the insidious flower bug.
So I guess just to start off on my side, the predatory stink bug isn't crazy big in size, but for sure has a medium size, I'd say, of an insect. It has the colors of a predator, which are metallic dark blue with black and orange markings on its back. The stink bug is for sure a better predator in the wild, being that um, it has strength and venom on its side that paralyzes its prey when injected. Not only does it have venom, but it also sucks out all bodily fluids with its needle-like beak, which helps shut down its prey. The biggest thing that a good predator has to have in the wild is great instinct, strength, and stamina. The predatory stink bug has all of these traits, being that it goes after prey that is almost twice the size of itself. This is a predator that doesn't back down no matter what the fight takes. Not only is it a great predator, but it also is a great protector. The predator stink bug has a great impact on human society, especially when it comes to the fighting off of plant eaters. The main positive attribute is that it will eat beetles, caterpillars, and many other plants eating insects or bugs. This is a gardener's best friend, a predator that knows where to get its food consistently and helps the human society. So, in my opinion, it's the greatest predator in my book.
The insidious flower bug is a very small insect, but do not let their size fool you. They are fierce predators in nature. It has a black oval shaped body with a white stripe down the center. They have little heads and have a beak at the tip of their face. At the bottom of their back wings, they have a white diamond shaped figure on the end of their body. The eggs are in the shape of a cylinder and are 0.17 millimeters in length and 0.05 millimeters wide. The nymphs tend to be a yellow-orange color. As they get older, their coloring gets darker and turns brown. It can take nymphs 4 to 5 instars to fully transform into an adult. The females and males look almost identical, but the females are a lot stronger and bigger than the males. The males are typically 1.76 to 1.96 millimeters in length and 0.7 to 0.84 millimeters in width. The females are about 1.82 to 2.17 millimeters in length and 0.77 to 0.98 millimeters in width. They are commonly found in the East and Midwest regions of the United States, but some researchers have reported sightings of them in parts of southern Canada and Mexico. They tend to live in vegetation, such as field crops, shrubs, and plants. The insidious flower bug is known to be a threatening predator against small vegetation-eating insect species. These species include Lepidopterous eggs, larvae, thrips, plant bugs, mites, and aphids. A fun fact about this species is that their life cycle mainly depends on what they consume on a day-to-day basis. If they tend to eat other insects as their main food source, then they will survive longer than ones that strictly eat plants. Whenever they catch their own prey, they utilize their mouths by sucking the other insect and penetrating their skin. Today, farmers tend to use the insidious flower bug to control different species that live and destroy their vegetation, such as thrips and mites.
So, after kind of listening to the characteristics that your little bug has, I've definitely come to the conclusion that my predatory stink bug is by far a better predator in the wild. To start off, the colors, like I've said it before, they're a dark metallic blue with an orange pattern on its back and a black circle. So these colors, when I see them, are things like scream predator and show fierceness that the insidious flower bug doesn't necessarily have. The colors that the flower bug stands for, I feel like are more of a niceness and look of innocence. So my predator stink bug, being that it's a lot bigger and stronger, coming in at a size of anywhere from 9 to 21 millimeters, screams kind of just like watch out, you know?
Although the predatory stink bug might look more fierce, the insidious flower bug will catch its prey off guard whenever they are least expecting it. The females secrete two pheromones that the males and other females end up tracking down to see what is trying to be communicated to others. The pheromones can indicate that a female is in need of a mate or that there is prey. The second one that is produced helps signal to another female that there's prey nearby in the area. With the help from another insidious flower bug, they are able to stalk their prey and attack whenever the insect is least expecting it. This approach allows them to have their next meal successfully. They are tiny but mighty creatures. They grab their prey and put their beak that is located near their mouths into the prey, sucking out whatever is inside their body until there is nothing left. I believe that this is an example of an attack from a strong predator that not a lot of smaller insects can escape and leave alive.
Well, I think that having a surprise attack is a little unfair, but it is also smart that they communicate to one another for guidance. Nonetheless, with that being said, that makes me stand even stronger, being that the predatory stink bug is on its own and stands for strength, fearlessness, which is a true predator. The stink bug not only attacks by itself, but also preys on insects twice the size, um, sometimes bigger, sometimes smaller. When it strikes hard and doesn't back down. The prey does not only have its body fluid sucked out, which is similar to the flower bug, but it also gets injected with a paralyzing venom from the needle-like beak that the predatory stink bug has. I feel like this is definitely an insect you want to stay clear of due to the power and impact that it has.
Even though the insidious flower bug does not inject venom into its prey, it still stands a chance competing with other strong predators. I want to reiterate the fact that their life cycle solely depends on the type of food that they consume each day. Whenever they eat mainly other insects, they live a lot longer than the ones that strictly eat vegetation. Most insidious flower bugs can eat more than 20 bugs each day. I know that doesn't seem like a huge number when realizing the size of the insects that they prey upon, but can you imagine eating over 20 things in a day? I feel like that's extremely impressive, especially for how small they are too. Although they are all the same species, this does not mean that there is still not some level of competition that occurs when hunting for food. This species can get extremely aggressive with one another because they want to prey upon the insects rather than vegetation. Not only does preying upon insects allow them to live longer, but it also changes their biological makeup to allow this to occur. Depending on what they consume, there could be an increase in nutritional levels.
Well, from listening into more and more of the characteristics of the insidious flower bug, it seems that it is similar to the predatory stink bug in some ways. Even with that being said, I still feel that the stink bug really does run the show, if you will. Like I've said before, not only does the stink bug attack bigger prey, paralyze them, and suck out all the body fluids, but it also is a gardener's best friend, which I feel like is key. This is an all around a predator, especially one that you'd want to have around any plants, crops, vegetables, etc. The, the predatory stink bug was born for action and being a guard of anything that comes its way. I mean, the name itself has earned it and shows on a day to day basis. There are many insects out there that are scary and hurtful to human society and that people want to stay away from. But the stink bug, on the other hand, has a major positive impact on human society and the things that it does. Researchers have found that not only the adults defend, but also the nymphs from a young age feeding on the larva of a plant eating insect. The specific findings that have been shown are the black cutworms, greater wax moths, Japanese beetles, long tailed skippers, Mexican bean beetles, southern green stink bugs, and the tobacco budworms. So, this debate of one another's insect has brought me to the conclusion that it is a pretty close draw. Both insects are tough and have a positive impact on human society, as well as plants and vegetation of other sorts.
Researchers today are using the insidious flower bug for multiple purposes to try to fully comprehend how this little bug has such a huge impact on saving an entire field of crops. They are collecting the species at different stages in their lives to see if this change makes a difference on how aggressive they are against their prey that inhabit the fields. Using them in various vegetation and cultivation studies, scientists and farmers can further benefit and gain a deeper knowledge over the insects that continue to destroy and feed off of their vegetation. With that being said, I strongly believe that the insidious flower bug is extremely impactful because they are conserving thousands of fields containing crops and does this so effortlessly. Farmers can utilize this data and help their vegetation last as long as possible to meet their end goals. Unfortunately, numerous farmers have turned to insecticides to terminate the pests that are living on their crops. This not only is harmful to the insects, but over time, the insecticides absorb into the crops and vegetation and then will go on to be sold to humans for consumption. Studies show that farmers have now realized the specific amount of insecticides that is needed to only harm the other insects and keep the insidious flower bug alive to regulate its reproduction. Although some farmers might consider this species a nuisance, most have realized that they are helping them in the long run by keeping their vegetation alive. Each time a new study gets published, this reveals new information about the insidious flower bug that was not known before. Not only are they conducting experiments on their relationships with the species that they prey upon, but they are gaining a deeper knowledge and understanding about what benefits they get from eating other targeted species. It fascinates me that just by consuming something every day will allow them to live a much longer life and change them biologically without even realizing it. I firmly believe that the insidious flower bug is the strongest predator in nature because it is tiny but extremely mighty.